African soldiers who fought for freedom. Some are dead and some are living. Those that are dead are still fighting on. Those that are living are still fighting. Shaka Zulu, African soldier. Elisa Lesse, African soldier. Namdia Sigiwe, African soldier. Kwame Nkrumah, African soldier. Jomo Kenyatta, African soldier. Patrice Lumumba, African soldier. Marcus Garvey, African soldier. African soldier, show your power. Show your power and free your people now. Save your people. Save your people. Save them now. From economic hazards. Save your people. From political nonsense. I say save your people. From economic rubbish. Oh, save your people. From political yabis. I say save Africa. From economic jargon. Attention, African soldiers. Laila Sika Laila. Oh, Laila Sika Laila. Laila Sika Laila. We are still calling African soldiers. Laila Sika Laila. African soldiers who fought for freedom. Laila Sika Laila. About Macaulay, African soldier. Laila Sika Laila. Amadu Bello, African soldier. Laila Sika Laila. Obafemi Awolowo, African soldier. Laila Sika Laila. Dr. Steve Biko, African soldier. Laila Sika Laila. Yes, Augustino Neto, African soldier.
Fear is forward. No one is afraid of yesterday. Let us not seek to satisfy our taste for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inseparable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And that's why the true peace is not measured, and it's not merely the absence of tension. It is the presence of justice. For the ultimate measure of a man, oh Lord, I love this so dearly. It's not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenges and controversy. I greet you this morning in the name of peace, democracy, and freedom. We are under the sound of my voice, not as a prophet, but as your humble servant. It is in our hands to make Liberia great. Good morning, folks. Good morning, Liberia. Good morning, Liberians. Good morning from across the 15 political subdivisions of this country. It pleases us to sit on this platform Mondays through Fridays to inform you Liberians about the happenings. What is happening across the 15 geographic locations of our country. It is important. It is our duty, our responsibility to inform you. Like I always say it on this platform, an informed citizenry makes informed decisions. When the citizens are informed, what happens is that their decision towards national issues, towards the growth and development of the country will be informed, and it will make right choice, in the right direction. That's why it is always important that we use the radio, we use the microphone to inform you Liberians about the happiness, to inform you Liberians about things that are happening in this country. Because the thing about it is that, you too often times we have decisions to consider, and especially at this time where we are into the electioneering period, you depend on us highly to inform you about things that are happening in this country. And you relied on the information provided, to make decisions that impact change, that impact our country, that take us to the place we want to be. Now, I always say that the decision we make, determines the kind of Liberia we're going to have. If we make the right choice, we'll have a better Liberia. If we make the wrong choice, obviously, we'll have a Liberia that continue to retrogress. That's why we always ask you, where are we as a country? Are we on a scale that we are progressing, or are we retrogressing? Good morning, folks. This is Good Morning Liberia, a Harris S. Bailey presentation. Good morning and welcome. There are too many things to look at the program this morning. Too many things to look at in the program this morning. Let's bring you our menu we have this morning. At 8 o'clock, we'll play host to a group of high school students. I know they reached out to me. The government over times has been very helpful. We must admit, each and every parent in this country has been a beneficiary of this initiative. That of which we must say for the record, that the WES administration over the years has paid and continue to pay the WAS fees for 12th graders. Unlike in the past, high school students were paying 60, 65, depending, for the registration fee for WAS. And that was very challenging for parents, especially they will have to pay to complete their children's school fees, and have to, pay for WAS. Again, it was a burden on them. So this government took over, saw the need to help parents in that direction. So over the time, the WES administration has been very helpful in that direction and continue to pay the WAS fee for 12th graders across the country for both private and public schools. And we must say for the record, this is the first time since in the history of Liberia that the government has taken initiative and continue to pay the WAS fee for students. So the 12th graders have decided, to appreciate the president, the government in totality for that gesture, with a call that they should continue, and perhaps institute that as a policy, so that even if the George Weah government leaves power, the next government that will come in will still continue that, because we have done go around the country, held conversations with parents, and for that, is one thing that the parent has. We always tell you that indeed the government has, stepping in that direction. So they reached out to me and asking me, Harris, we want to use a platform. We want you to help us, to call on our fellow students from across Monserrato and other countries adjacent to join us in this, so that we can signal to President George Weah that we want this thing to continue. We need this to be a policy that the government will put in place. Perhaps it could be a law that the government will take responsibility to source the WAS fees for 12th graders moving forward. So I said, okay, fine. I looked through it, and I said, okay, come over. I extended an invitation to them. I said, come sit on the platform and tell me to what extent this thing is helping you. Because the thing about it is that they are the ones benefiting. So I want to bring them, let it tell us, where it was at the time, and to where are we now, to what extent is this free WAS tuition policy, impacting, helping their studies to a greater extent. So they're going to set off us this morning at 8 o'clock. They honor the Banner Youth, get the name correctly, Youth Congress Association. And so they're going to be here this morning at 8 o'clock. We'll have a conversation on that up until 9. At 9 o'clock, I'm setting to place a call. I'm going to have a conversation with the chairperson of the group of 77. I remember the disabled community over the time has been raising concerns concerning their life, According to them, they are living under extreme conditions due to the government alleged failure, to cater to them. According to them, in the past government, the office of the vice president was very helpful to them and always used to look in that direction, not until the Williams Taylor administration came into being. And up to this time, as we speak, there are lots of challenges, according to them, ranging from health to shelter. All of these things are challenges, according to them. Their children are not in school as well because of the condition. Remember, these are disabled people. These are people that have been met with life difficult challenges. And so in a group of 77, I purposely, I'm going to call them this morning. At 9 o'clock, where we'll have conversation, they explain their story. They're going to tell you how is the situation affecting them and what they're called to national government. And on the flip side of that, we're going to have a conversation, folks. I have designed a topic. I have designed something very interesting. Listen, I had a time on yesterday, the National Elections Commission had announced the preliminary results from the just ended phase 1 of the biometric voter registration exercise. The results are preliminary because the commission is doing deduplication, right? That is verifying to know whether, for instance, Harris Bailey registered in Birmingham and Harris Bailey went again and registered in District 9, for instance. So the data collection, the data entry, they are accessing all of those information to tell whether you don't have one person registering more than 2 times, more than 3 times. So according to the NEC, that result released on yesterday for these 6 counties is subject to change. Subject to change means perhaps for Moserado with about 891,201 registered voters. It is possible that after the deduplication process has been done, it is possible that that number could drop. There is no possibility that number will increase. There is no possibility that the number will increase. But there are possibilities that the number will reduce. Because despite the technology being in place, there are challenges. There are challenges that perhaps start the process. There were influences evidenced by one of the NEC staff of being dismissed of a post. So all of these things play out. So there is a possibility that that number will be reduced. So that's why it has been called preliminary results. So the 6 counties results were released. We're going to provide them to you on the platform. But I observed a slight difference or slight changes, right? In the data. I have had a time to compare the results from the results on yesterday, released for the number of registrants, especially in Moserado. I did a case study on Moserado. Moserado, the number of registrants in Moserado compared to 2017, compared to 2020, to 2011. You were taking into consideration the population. Now, there is something you need to consider. That my stellar in line from the current result is 2023 elections. From 2023, 2017 to 2011 will be 3 elections period. 2011 has passed. 2011, of course, 2017, of course, has passed. And 2023 we are in. So you observed from 2011, the population in 2011 to 2017, the entire population of the country now. Up to 2023, there will be population growth. So there is an expectation that when the population grows, of course, the voting population will increase. You want to take that into consideration. So, but it's interesting. Listen, I'm going to bring the topic to you. And I tied everything to the effect of voter chalking. Listen, this conversation we've had on this radio, we informed the remaining 9 counties that the voter registration exercise will be rolled out. The remaining 9 counties that the voter registration exercise will be rolled out, we need to take clue from this information I'm about to provide to you. This information I'm about to provide, you will understand the factors, you understand the effects of voter chalking. You understand how detrimental it is when people allow themselves to be chalked for little or nothing. You understand how it affect the entire county moving forward. That is after the election period. After the election period, these things will play out. The effect of voting chalking will be, the effects of voter chalking will be observed now, and the aftermath will determines, what the people will go through after the election period. That's why we always tell you, you need to be very mindful. You need to be very careful. You need to observe all of these things. That's why when politicians come to you and say, and tell you, for instance, getting this truck, let me tell you, might give you to go register, for instance. Let go bombing to register, and there are cases of which people were transported from here to bombing, from Mosurado to bombing, from Mosurado to Grand Cape Pound. People were transported from Mosurado up until, in the various counties. You leave an area where you're supposed to register, where your day-to-day activity, where your life is dependent. You leave there and enter different area to register, with an expectation that you will get $5, with an expectation that you will get $10, and that $10, will only last just for a day. And so what becomes after the day? What becomes of you? But let's read you what the NEC said on yesterday. And for those of you listeners, where you can go on Voice of Liberia, Facebook page as well, and you will get this thing. And so there is a story that says over 1 million Liberians registered as NEC classes phase 1 of the biometric voter registration. The National Elections Commission has released preliminary results of registered voters from phase 1 of the biometric voter registration, with a cumulative total of 1,435,209 registered voters from across 6 counties. The Commission on March 20, 2023 inaugurated the first ever biometric system in Liberia's electoral process in 6 counties, including Bombing, Margibi, Grand Basso, Bapuru, Grand Cape Mount, and Mosurado. The process was completed on April 9, 2023, whilst admitting that there are challenges, especially with the introduction of new technology. NEC chairperson David Brown Lassanan told newsmen that these counties constitute a total of 1,065 registration centers, which were duly received, verified, and tallied. Madam Lassanan added that the centers account for 51.20% of the total number of registration centers across the 15 political subdivisions. The statistics show that 711,410 registrants are females, while the male population amount to 723,799. Madam Lassanan assured the public that deduplication is in full swing, and the Commission will do everything to calm down on perpetrators. So you got it right there. That's it. The Commission has informed us that currently we have about 1,435,209 Liberians have registered in just 6 counties. So we're left with remaining 9 counties. And remember, the census result that came out placed the population to 5.2 million. So if you do your mathematics, this is just about pretty close to around 20% of the total population in Liberia. So the remaining 9 counties when everything, conclude, the commission will come out with the results from the remaining 9 counties to inform you Liberians about the total number of registered voters in the county that will serve the election process. But like we told you, we have carried on with done a case study on this, the results released, compare with 2011 results, 2017, and 2023 now, especially in Mossorado County in terms of the number of registered voters. And we understand that voter tracking will actually carry out in Mossorado to a high extent, to a point that it affected the population of Mossorado. Listen, we're going to provide you that as well. But we'll go for this break. Telecel Liberia is our sponsor. It's always important we do it right here. And like we said, we encourage you to do business with Telecel Liberia. Of course, you won't regret in terms of all of your internet needs. You can stop by at Telecel Liberia, and your internet needs will be solved just in due time. Yeah, Telecel Liberia is our sponsor. And so we go for this break to be right back.
Are you tired with slow internet? Do you want super fast and affordable internet? Telecel Liberia is here to provide all your internet service needs. The internet is moving at a fast pace, and only super fast internet speed can help you keep up. At Telecel, our internet packages are divided into distinct categories: Mega, Optimal, Premium, Elite, and Big Business that suits kids, universities, schools, hotels, beaches, homes, offices, urban areas, and much more. Anything is possible with Telecel Liberia. Get your own streaming box for Netflix, Amazon Prime, Showmax, and more. At Telecel, our amazing 24-hour customer service is there to help you with all your needs. Telecel Liberia, super fast speed, 24 hours technical support team, the best broadband and fiber optic internet service in Liberia. For more information, please call 0770-399-399 or 0881-399-399. Or stop by our office on 3rd Street, Syncor, opposite the Carter Center and GLZ buildings. Visit our website, telecelliberia.com. Email us at info@telecelliberia.com. Telecel Liberia, the best internet service provider, is here for you. Telecel Liberia, connecting the unconnected.
I want to flex my love. I want to impress.
Are you tired with slow internet? Do you want super fast and affordable internet? Telecel Liberia is here to provide all your internet service needs. The internet is moving at a fast pace, and only super fast internet speed can help you keep up. At Telecel, our internet packages are divided into distinct categories: Mega, Optimal, Premium, Elite, and Big Business that suits kids, universities, schools, hotels, beaches, homes, offices, urban areas, and much more. Anything is possible with Telecel Liberia. Get your own streaming box for Netflix, Amazon Prime, Showmax, and more. At Telecel, our amazing 24-hour customer service is there to help you with all your needs. Telecel Liberia, super fast speed, 24 hours technical support team, the best broadband and fiber optic internet service in Liberia. For more information, please call 0770-399-399 or 0881-399-399. Or stop by our office on 3rd Street, Syncor, opposite the Carter Center and GLZ buildings. Visit our website, telecelliberia.com. Email us at info@telecelliberia.com. Telecel Liberia, the best internet service provider, is here for you. Telecel Liberia, connecting the unconnected.
I want to flex my love. I want to impress.
Are you tired with slow internet? Do you want super fast and affordable internet? Telecel Liberia is here to provide all your internet service needs. The internet is moving at a fast pace, and only super fast internet speed can help you keep up. At Telecel, our internet packages are divided into distinct categories: Mega, Optimal, Premium, Elite, and Big Business that suits kids, universities, schools, hotels, beaches, homes, offices, urban areas, and much more. Anything is possible with Telecel Liberia. Get your own streaming box for Netflix, Amazon Prime, Showmax, and more. At Telecel, our amazing 24-hour customer service is there to help you with all your needs. Telecel Liberia, super fast speed, 24 hours technical support team, the best broadband and fiber optic internet service in Liberia. For more information, please call 0770-399-399 or 0881-399-399. Or stop by our office on 3rd Street Syncor, opposite the Carter Center and GLZ building. Visit our website, telecelliberia.com. Email us at info@telecelliberia.com. Telecel Liberia, the best internet service provider, is here for you. Telecel Liberia, connecting the unconnected.
I want to flex my love. I want to impress.
Indeed, Telecel Liberia is our sponsor on this program. We encourage every one of you, like we said, to do business with Telecel. You want all of your internet needs. For those of you wanting internet for your home, whether you want internet for your workplace, you need internet for your children at home to study, to use the internet in variety of ways, whether be a corporate, social, just stop by Telecel on 10th Street, Syncor, and you do business with them. Trust me, you won't regret. It's, in terms of our internet needs, the Voice of Liberia, of course, we rely on Telecel Liberia a lot. All of our internet needs is being solved by Telecel Liberia. So we encourage you as well to do business. That's important. We acknowledge those of you watching. We say thanks. Gabriel MC Parker says watching. Thanks, Gabriel. Papi Keita said good morning, Liberia. Voice CDC Papi Success Keita from Duport Road. Thanks so kindly. Samuel M. Kamara said following live from Upper Cardwell, Monrovia. Junji Wentwen says good morning. I'm following live from Johnsonville. And the rest of you, those of you watching as well, leave your comments. You help us share the live video. Yep. Help us share the live video, folks. And of course, invite someone as well to join you on the program. So like we said, come here shortly, we have guests on the first segment. But it's important we bring in this development. I don't want to start this conversation and get started and have to get caught up at a certain point. That's why I'm still having, just looking around, but it's good. I thank those of you watching as well. Yep. Those of you watching is good. Help us share the live video. Yep. Help us share the live video. Invite someone to listen. My word, what is this thing? I'm trying to lay my hands on my word. I'm trying to lay my hands on this thing. But let's read you what has been written. There is this information that there is this information. Oh my word, where is this thing? I'm trying to lay my hands on it. Yep. I'm trying to lay my hands on it. Be patient a bit. I'm trying to lay my hands on it. I'm trying to lay my hands on it. So let's read you. This story. It says former Vice President and political leader of the opposition Unity Party, Joseph N. Boakai, has been summoned to appear in court on or before April 27, 2023, by resident George Kennedy Peabody of the 6th Judicial Circuit Court. George Peabody's writ of summons was triggered by a complaint filed against Mr. Boakai by Arnold Kandankai, who resides in the United States, through his Anthony in fact Regent Bride, for a petition for removal of clause over Title Ds. He noted, you are hereby commanded to summon the above named respondent in the above entitled case of an action to appear before the March term AD 2023, the same being the 20th date of March 80, 2023, at the hour of 10 a.m. You are further ordered to summon the respondent to the petitioner's petition on or before the 22nd date of April 80, 2023, and failure to do so, a default judgment will be rendered against him or her. However, Mr. Barker is yet to respond to this latest court action. Yeah, so you got it right there. For those of you, asking me as to, where is it? Yeah, you got it right there. So, Ambassador Barker, has been asked to appear before court, and this happened. The conversations around. We need to make this clarification. It's important. It is normal, just like every other individual. You can be summoned to a court. Perhaps there are doubts. Perhaps you need to appear before the court to make it clear as to, what are the reasons, someone had a case against you or claim against you. Appearing before court doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that person, that person is guilty. That's why it's always important, until the law says that person is guilty. So for those of you on the social media, in all due respect, that, you burned in, there have been a lot of insults. There have been a lot of, invectives throwing on him. We must consider something in this country. And I'm saying this across. Oppositions will do it when they involve the ruling establishment. The ruling establishment will do it when they involve the opposition. The effect thereof is that it is tantamount to our democracy. Listen, provocation are not necessary. I'm saying this not because of Ambassador Barker, no. I'm saying this as a warning to the opposition as well. Because these guys have designed themselves in a way that once these things come out, you see them if this was a government official, or perhaps if this was the president, which of course we know it can be, if this was an official of his government, the news are going to take over, the guys are going to run with it, and they're going to have the worst thing to say. This is against the standard bearer. The lesson learned from this is that, like any other human being, right, regardless of your status, regardless of what you want to achieve, regardless of what position you want to hold, people are subject to life. All of these challenges happen in life. There are times you'll be summoned. There are times, you'll be asked before to appear before the court. There are times you'll be taken to police station as well. It doesn't mean that you are that character until the law says you are. It doesn't mean you are that person that is defiant to the law until the law says you are. So, like what I say, this time by Ambassador Barker, not much, attention, not much, partisans of the ruling establishments go about, showing jabs, and Ambassador Barker go about attacking him. But if this were been an opposition, or a government official, right, perhaps of the we, or perhaps it would be one of the we's surrogate, one of the we's confidant, then by this time we are. By this time we are somewhere different. By this time the news is all over. Yeah, by this time the news is all over. It tells the kind of way the opposition cover themselves against the government. Listen, Ambassador Barker has been summoned to court over claims that someone feel that a property belonging to them, he had took hold of it, and a whole lot of stuff. These are allegations. The person in the United States has leveled this against him. You want to consider there are several factors. Perhaps Ambassador Barker might be wrong. Perhaps he may be innocent as well. That's one thing you need to consider. Another thing you need to consider is that we are in election periods. These things happen. People look for cases, the design strategies, as to taint someone's character. It happens. It is also possible that perhaps this person, Ambassador Barker, has taken hold of this person's property, and they have complained, they have used all means to no avail. So the person wait for the election time where all eyes are on him and want to raise his concern with an expectation that when you raise his concern, it will frighten the Unity Party standard bearer, and perhaps you have to back off and relinquish, and turn over the property. All of these things play out. So what am I saying is that when you have to consider all of these points. You have to consider all of these happenings. So the opposition over the time failed to consider when it sees happen. If this was a government official, if this was a confidant of the Williams administration, perhaps if this would have been Jefferson Koji, for instance, if this would have been Nathaniel McGill, for instance, if this would have been Moba Malu, for instance, the oppositions were going to take to the media. They're going to use it to spread all sort of information against the government. They're going to use it to spread all kinds of information against the government. They're going to say the worst of the government. They're going to drag the president into this. They're going to say that the president is the one that has been supporting his official to do this, to do that, to take people's property, to use. In fact, they're going to conclude that the government is using their power to take away properties of Liberians, to take it away from Liberians, things that don't belong to them, to go about to take it because they feel that they're in power. These are things they tell you, right? It is with a Senate bearer, a very prominent figure, one who this information or this thing, it affects him a lot. The United Party hasn't said a word about it. Ambassador Barker hasn't said a word about it. No one from the opposition has said a word. The government hasn't said anything about it, neither to even throw jabs at them. Partisans of the ruling establishment, the Coalition for Democratic Change, has no attention has been directed to it. No attention as we speak. Now, what am I telling you this morning, fellow Liberians, is that we should use this as a lesson. We should use this as a lesson that in spite of the fact we have our dissatisfactions, in spite of the fact that we disagreed on policy issues, it is important that we consider protecting our democracy. Now, to do that, we should understand misinformation, disinformation, wrongful information. These are things that creates chaos in a country. These are things that have the potential, to spark confusion. These are things that have the potential to spark conflict. Now, when conflict in a society, what happens is that the people suffer. What happens is that destruction is set to take place. What happens is that the peace of that country obviously will be taken away. And we all know where we have come from as a country and where we want to go as people. We all know that over the time, these same happenings, where people go about saying the worst thing about others because they want to take over, hasn't helped us all, at all, and it won't help us. That's why I always tell you, if someone come in and say that they need you, they come in and tell you that I'm the best person, I'm this person, I'm that person, it is always important you consider it. Yep. It is always important you consider all of these things. It is always important that you consider them. I'm saying this because it is important, folks. It is important that too often times in Liberia, we continue to suffer from misinformation in this country. We continue to suffer from disinformation. Because of that, today, the citizens, some citizens still have doubt in the performance of the government. Because of that, because of the misinformation the opposition community has carried over the years, because of the misinformation that continue to take to the space, today the workings of the government has been shielded on the carpet. Some of the positive things this government has done, there's less or no attention given to it. And even to a point that the government wants to sell the message, the opposition come and criticize even when it's positive, even when it's helping. when it's happening in a country, people go about and still criticize it. I'm just having this conversation in passing that Ambassador Barker has been summoned to court, like we have said, like any other citizen in this country, like any other citizen, like any other human. Everyone will go through this, like every other human. These things are normal. Obviously, they are normal. and so it might be me. Obviously, it might be me. Perhaps someone may have claim against me. It doesn't in any way present that that claim is factual. And again, it doesn't in any way present that that claim is wrong. That's why the court is being established. That's why the court is the final arbiter of judgment. That's why it is from the court. What the court says is what we interpret. What the court interprets is what we say, is what we preach out. So until he goes to the court, until the case has been tried, and until the courts come out and say yes, that he what has been labeled against him, that he took someone property is true, and he will be made to return. Then with that, you have all what you say, you have all what you can tell. So Liberians, I'm saying this particularly to those of you that are spreading the information. And again, I'm saying it to the opposition folks, that it is important you consider this, that it happened. It is your term, it happened, and we are conscientizing Liberians that we are in election period. We should be cognizant of these things. We are in election period. We should consider all of these things, that it will happen, that it will come out, that people will perhaps will want to look for all sort of ways. Okay, pretty well. An example of that, right? It has happened just some 1 month ago. It happened when Councillor Verdia, who is in the States, has said the worst thing about Mayor Koji. There were no record to prove. There were no evidence to show. There were no accounts that Mayor Koji was the doer of that act. There was no judgment from the court to determine that the Lord Mayor was held liable for that crime. What happened? And the opposition took it on the social media, off the social media, in street corners, at IE centers, intellectual centers, and all over the place, and damaged such a man's character. And damaged his character to a point that it went beyond repair, to a point that even if he takes to the street, people point accusing finger. Is that not a man that said he killed Councillor Squat Dolan? Is that not a man? Is that not a mayor? And these things, yeah. I tell people, repetition, people's character, something that someone fought for over the years, something that the person struggles for over the years. They tried, they fought to a higher extent and build that character. And you take a point of time, sit in your room one morning and just destroy it. Sit in your room one morning and just destroy it. And just create something that will be in a way where everyone believes, and you go about with it and destroy someone's character. It hurts. Obviously it hurts. If it hasn't happened to you, you understand what I'm saying. Obviously, if it hasn't happened to you, you understand what I'm saying. But if it has happened, then you understand what I'm saying. So, misinformation, spreading falsehood against people is wrong. Someone, don't kill me. I beg, don't kill me. But it's serious. It's very serious. And it's one of the things that is taking over in our country. It's one of the things that's taking over. One of the easiest way to progress in this country, one of the easiest way one of the easiest way to be noticed in this country, just go about saying something against someone, just design their own story against that person, in a way you think that people would believe. And over the time, that's how people have been carrying themselves in this country. But it's wrong. It's not helping us. It won't help us as a country as long as we continue to do these things. As long as we continue to carry ourselves in that way. Abraham, catching Johnny. This is exactly what I'm saying. Abraham is asking. That's exactly what I'm saying, and thankfully you brought that up. That people will go about spreading misinformation at the time there are no evidence to prove, and there must be deterrent set. A precedent must be established so that people will understand that defamation of character is not a good start to practice. This is my argument, that we must set precedents. I'm not saying the case of Ambassador Brackham is right or is wrong, or whether the case of Ambassador Brackham is truth or it is false. My argument is that precedents must be set. It happened with the lawmaker. Right? It happened with the lawmaker. When someone went about spreading falsehood against him, it places a tint on his character. It makes the appearance those that were trusting in him to turn their back away from it. This is to what extent the misinformation pays out. That's why it's important you consider these things. So, like the case you citing Abraham, like the case you citing with Cummins, Joseph Barker supporter, George Lobo, who called Cummins a criminal. All of these things happened. That's what we say. So people will, and that's why it has been said. The young people has been used in this country. The young people continue to be used in this country. Some of these politicians will go about, take you, give you $5, the $5, the $10, and they empower you to take to the social media. They empower you to take to the radio and abuse people and and say the worst thing about someone, because the expectation is that they want to achieve their objective. Now, it rests on the shoulder to understand that the person only want to use you because what they will get from you. It is you that need to challenge yourself and say, no, I can't do this because I still have a future. I too understand the ramification of these things. So I cannot go about doing it. This is where we have failed. This is where we continue to fail. So the young people, everyone, once the person get up in the morning, want to be noticed, so they will do everything to be noticed. And which, of course, what I have understood from that point is that doing anything to be noticed is doing it in the right direction. There are positive steps you can take, and society will heal you. The negative ones, society will castigate, and also it is detrimental to the peace. It affects our growth as a country. It's taught reconciliation. Definitely. It does that. So you need to understand all of these things. So for those of you that go about, spreading all sort of information, whether for government, against government, you need to understand you're not doing it to them. You are doing it to Liberia. Those of you that will leave Liberia, go on the side and say, this thing is happening. People this, people that, all kind of stuff without evidence. For me, I support these kinds of arguments when there are evidence to prove. I support these kinds of evidence, these kinds of arguments when there are genuine evidence you can show that this is what I'm saying. This is what I've sensed. That this is what is happening. So when you're providing these kinds of accounts, then you establish a conversation. When you provide when you providing these kinds of accounts, then you establish a conversation. Then at least we can understand from where you speak. At least we can understand from where you come from. At least we'll be able to understand where are we heading. But if you just sit there, and just talk, perhaps you listen to these political commentators. Listen, all of these guys are working in the interest of someone. They are working because certain thing they want to achieve. Most of them have been paid. So they pay as per the information they are providing. They are not doing it in the interest of the general public. Nope. They are doing it with a specific or targeted audience. They are doing it with specific people. Our job that we do, for us, I said on this radio this morning, cut across. We said on this radio especially. When I said on this radio in the morning, I don't look at anyone to be CDC supporter. I don't look at anyone to be Unity Party supporter. I don't look at anyone to be ANC supporter. What I look at and see every one of you, on top of you is Liberia. That's how I see you. So that's why when we're having the kinds of conversation, we have it generally. We have a holistic discussion. Cut your part that belongs to you. Sit there and look in it. The next brother cut his part. Perhaps if you are from ANC, cut your ANC part. Take in your closet, the one that fits you, and you can have the conversation. I hope you're getting my point. Then we can have a conversation. So this is what we need to understand. Today is this person. Tomorrow it might be you. We have done it, and we've seen that these things continue and bring great men down. People, there are individuals that have come out. They were passionate about this country. Their vision for Liberia was greater. Their vision for Liberia was great. They had a mind, they had a developmental agenda for Liberia. Because of misinformation, you pour them against the citizens. You make the citizens to look at them to be people that don't mean well for this country. Because you have been paid, because you have been told to go and say the worst about them with an expectation that you give it $5, you get $10 in return. So you go and say the worst about them, you stand the people against them, you say the worst thing that trigger the people's anger against them. Then what happens is that they take them away. They take them from the space and bring the wolf that you are supporting to come and take over the people. And they rule them, they do the worst thing to them and say the worst thing they have to say to them. Because the man understands that he didn't get there on the expense of the people's confidence. He got there on the strength of his cash. So what will happen? He uses his cash, to get at that position. He uses his cash to enter the executive mansion. He uses his cash to enter the legislature. So you have an expectation that it's not the people's confidence that took him there. It's not the people's confidence that took him there. That's his expectation. Now the people, you the electors, have a mind that you are trusting this person because the information you have received is what informed your decision. It's what that is informing your decision. So the information you receive thereof, maybe from these political commentators, these praise singers, it is an information that this person is bad, this person is a killer, this person is a road, this person has stole, this person continues to steal, and this president is this president is that, this president is not worth, in the whole lot, they will say. They make you believe. They go and look for the negatives, even if there are positives. Because I have been made to understand that life is two sides. You have the negative and the positive. You have bad and you have good. That's how it works. So the bad side, every human has a bad side. Every leader has a bad side. Even the great Nelson Mandela, you want to reference. The Martin Luther King, other world leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, the rest of the guys that stood up to their history, remember, they too have a bad side. The leadership over the time has a bad side. But you know what makes it good? Because on the scale of 10, the positives are more than the negative. On a scale of 100, the positive is more than the negative. On a scale of 1,000, the positive is more than the negative. So in that direction, society picks the positive. So, but in Liberia, our critics don't look at the wish, don't look at the positive and the negative on a scale of 10. Don't look at the positive and the negative on a scale of 100. Don't look at the positive and negatives on a scale of 1,000. So then what happened? They go for the negative, even to a point that the negative will not supersede the positive. But yet instead they will use it and make you believe that there is nothing has happened. And make you believe that there is nothing will ever happen. Will make you believe that there is nothing has happened. There's nothing positive has happened. That there is nothing positive will ever happen. That the person don't even have the potential to even do something positive. That's how they present the case to you. And that's how they made you to understand That's how they made you to believe. That's how they made you to think that the person has done nothing positive. This person will do nothing positive. This person is doing nothing positive. And this person has no potential to do something positive. This is how the guys have presented the case of the government to you. This is how they make you to believe when it comes to the government, that the WES administration has done nothing positive, the WES administration is doing nothing positive, and the WES administration will do nothing positive. That President George Weah don't have the potential to do anything positive. This is how they sell the case to you. This is how they make you believe. Now, when it comes to Ambassador Barker, they make you understand that this is a character. They make you understand this is a man. This is a man with repetition. They make you understand this is a man that is clay. This is a man that is this. This is a man that is that. But there's a man that was in the Senate at the time of all of these Bukos agreements you want to speak of, you want to talk about. This is the 6 Bukos agreement you want to talk about on the Salim's administration. This is a man that was chairing the Senate. This is a man that was heading the Senate at the time. This is a man that was heading the House of Edom. These things happened. But yet and still, these things will not be reflected because the message is to spill out the negative against the government to make you believe that this character is the only character. Today, he has been called to court. Today, he has been invited to court or over allegations that someone think that I perpetrated. So now, our argument here is this, that it happened with other leaders in the government, happened with other, with other leaders in the government. You in your position will take the message and spray it negatively. You take the message and say the worst thing about it. We'll take the message and say that the person, at the time that the matter is before the court, at the time that the court hasn't made any judgment, at the time that the court hasn't said that this person is guilty, at the time the court hasn't said that this person is not guilty, at the time the court hasn't said that this person is guilty, you will spread information. You will make the people believe that this is how the character is. Even at a point that the person has not been judged, even to a point that the person has not been, the court hasn't found the person guilty, to tell you that this character, Mr. Harris Bailey, you think that it's a road, indeed is a road. Mr. Harris Bailey, you think that it's a killer, indeed is a killer. That point has been reached. It is the court's judgment that establishes that. It is the judgment of the court that determines that this person is this or this person is that. But in Liberia, we have governed ourselves in a way that even before the court makes a decision, the news is already taken to the public. Even before the court makes a decision, you guys have everything to say. You already make the people to believe. Even to a point that the court's judgment comes out, you make the people not to believe it again. Oh, yes. Obviously, that's how it is. So we are building a country where once something come out, even before the facts are out, you already saw it in a way that, you make it look like it's real. You make it look like it's factual. You make it look like what you say you were on the scene, it happened. And today, most of you believe that a count for Councillor Verdia against the law mayor, you in opposition, some officials, some top officials in the opposition community, they talk to radios, they talk to televisions, they talk to social media, various platforms, and said the worst thing about it. At the time, there are no evidence. At the time, Councillor Verda failed to provide evidence. At the time that he himself is still struggling to understand what he said that night when he said it. Even he himself is still struggling to have a space to stand and still listen to what he said against the law mayor. Yet you took it. Yet to make the people to believe. Even to a point when he was made to apologize and come back and say that what he said was false and misleading. Today, how many Liberians have gotten that message? Today, how many Liberians have realized that what he said was wrong? How many Liberians today have realized that what Councillor Verda said against the law mayor was false? Because you know why? You opposition took it and you black the picture. You black the truth. You print it in a way that everyone thinks this is how it happened. You print it in a way you amplified the conversation in a way that everyone thinks that this is how is happening. And so because of that, yeah. So because of that, everyone felt that this is how it happened. Today, the woman there in Grand Cape Bound, the brother, the sister there in Grand G there. When I have the time to listen to you again, we come back and say what I've said was wrong. What I've said was false. What I've said is misleading. Listen, every misinformation you sent in the public, every misinformation, every time you spill lies about someone, every time you say the worst thing about someone, whether without evidence, listen, you damage that person. Listen, what it does is that person's character has been damaged. Now, to come back and say, I'm sorry, what I've said was wrong. What I said, I didn't mean to say it. It takes time for people to believe you. It takes time. Perhaps the targeted audience that have received that message might not be the audience that have received when you apologize. Perhaps the audience that received the message when you send it at first will not be the people that received the message when it's returned. That your apologies towards something. So that's why I'm saying this, in a sense, using this Joseph Boakai quote issue as our study, as our case study. Today, not much members of the ruling establishment are focusing attention on this because they are training themselves. They want to position themselves in a way where there will be evidence to prove that today, if you say Ambassador Boakai is this person, is taking away people's property, forcefully taking away people's property, then you have a ground. Then you have a ground to speak. You want to reference the court's judgment. You want to reference the time this incident was reported. You want to reference who reported the incident. You want to reference why the person reported the incident. But to a point where there are no evidence to prove, it is always advisable. You stick on you remain to yourself. It's always advisable you allow the law to take its course. You allow the law to prevail. And let the law says this person, after all what we have gone through, after witnesses accounted, all of what has been proven, we think this person is culpable. We think this person did this crime, right, or committed this crime. We think this person is liable. We think this person as per our judgment is found guilty. Then now you have a conversation. You have what you can put. You have what you can take to the table for discussion. So it goes out to you intellectuals, those of you that call yourself intellectuals, those of you that just take to Atai Centers in the morning. And you are one of those who are contributing to the ways in which misinformation continues to spread around the public. You are not concerned about doing your fast checking. You are not concerned about, waiting for relevant authorities, especially when the matter is before them, to make that determination on it. You will take it and spread a whole lot. I'm saying this because it has happened. Especially the government continuing to be affected of it. Continuously, the government is being affected of it. You need to think. You need to redesign your approach, especially as we enter the election. There will be too many misinformation in the public. The last time it happened, we with a representative for Nima County of allegations of being possession of counterfeits. You know to what extent, how it affects that individual. It makes people lose value. It makes people have vote of no confidence in that person. To a point, if he's dashing out $5 or $10 for a project, everyone is doubtful. Everyone is afraid of holding such a money because they want to understand that this is a man that the belief has been that this is a man who goes about, who is in possession of counterfeits. Not until those that spread that information had to come back and was made to say sorry, that what we said was this thing wasn't real. Our accounts prove that is lying. So we apologize. But you wouldn't think at that time that person is apologizing. How many of you will get the information? The people that ran with the first information might not be the ones that will receive the information when it's returning. So there will continuously there will be conversations in that direction. Continuously there will be conversation. Continuously there will be conversation in that direction, and Liberians will struggle. You leave the citizens, you leave the citizens in a position to determine whether what he's saying, how can they believe it? Why are they believing it? So, fellow Liberians, we want to remind you. For me this morning, I'm so concerned and I'm so interested in this conversation this morning. And I took interest in the conversation this morning because the way how you call this thing? Oh my word! The way the ruling party members, the way the ruling party members are conducting themselves in the whole Joseph Boakai thing, right? In the whole Joseph Boakai thing, the way the ruling establishment members are conducting themselves, in a way they are waiting on the court's judgment. Definitely. And so they oh my word. Everyone is directed to the court's judgment. You wait until the outcome from there, it determines. It happened amongst opposition members. It continued to happen in the government. It is advisable we take consideration of these things, fellow Liberians. Okay. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh my word. We're going to move to this. Before we get to the phone lines. Like I told you, all right. All right. Oh my word. Oh my word. Where is this thing? I want to lay my hands on this thing. All right. So like we said from the onset of this conversation, the National Elections Commission has completed phase 1 of the biometric voter registration exercise. That process completed on the 9th of April, 2023. And the National Elections Commission admitted that there were challenges. And like in every process, there will be challenges. You cannot rule out the possibility that there will be no challenges, especially at the time, it is the introduction of a new breed of technology and all of these things. You expect that there will be numerous challenges. Now, the ability to overcome those challenges is what matters. We're going to sell this conversation to you. Oh my word, we're going to sell this conversation to you, and it's very interesting. And these things happened in a country like Liberia. For every time you introduce a new technology, right? You have a new breed of a new breed of challenges unfold. So we're just going to have a very short conversation on this. Just want you to understand what am I saying. When we speak of when we look at these things, oh my word, these things. Obviously, I just don't know. I just don't know how we're going to do it. That's it. And so it plays out. It helps a lot that when we have these kinds of conversation, it helps set the agenda for discussion. It helps inform our thoughts and our decision as to where we go as a country. And so, like we said, we have been able to go through from 2011 up to 2017 and now up to 2023. We have been able to understand the trend in terms of the population growth as per the voting population. From 2011, the voting population by then, 2017, the voting population by then, and now 2023, the voting population. So what we observed from that as well, we're going to provide to you on the platform. Very well, but folks, like we said, we had expected from the onset we're going to have this conversation at 8 o'clock, not until now. Our guests are just arriving. Obviously, we're going to have a conversation on this thing later. We just take them in. They're just joining up with no time to waste. We're going to bring you guys on. Obviously, radio is time. And when we invite you, obviously, you see the time you appear, it makes it difficult for us. You had an appearance for 8 o'clock. So, in all fairness, you needed to do everything possible to be in time. But so be it, due to the nature of this conversation, like I said, I've taken serious interest in this conversation. So it's important we provide you the platform to have it on. So get a headset. We got to get straight to the conversation. I don't know which one of you will be on. Okay, so with that get set, we have to... right. Okay. Yeah. Just have it at that will... All right. Okay, folks, it's on Good Morning Liberia. Lots of issues to discuss on the program this morning. Like we said, we have our guests. They hail from. Let me get this thing right here. They hail from. Oh my word! Where is this thing? The Youth Congress Association. I'm told. The Youth Congress Association. That's how they've been called. And basically, they are here to talk more on the planned program. Yeah, so we have with us a representative of the group. Good morning and welcome. You want to speak to the microphone? Turn it to you. You have to face the microphone to you. No, just leave here and turn it that way. Okay, that's good. Let's hear you.
Okay, good morning. It is a pleasant being here today. Thank you for the opportunity given us on your platform to be able to make the case for our young people and the people of Painesville, to be precise.
You wanna apologize why you have to come late?
Well, I want to apologize to the public that there was some reason why we are here at this time because of some traffic that were on the road and our distance also. So we have to speed up the traffic to get on back to be able to appear on this platform to make the case for the young people. So I want to apologize to the public and to our listening audience for appearing on the program very late.
Okay, alrighty, hold it right there. Let's go strictly in the next 1 minute. Tell us your name and perhaps the position you hold at the organization quickly.
Well, I'm Ambassador Emmanuel T. Weah, the second from the Youth Congress Association, YCA Liberia, and I am the executive director of that institution.
Okay, all right. It brings us to our conversation. You want to tell us when you mention the Youth Congress Association, what exactly do you mean? What you guys are involved with?
Okay, from the past 3 years, since 2020, we established this group under the banner Youth Congress Association. We are a advocacy group in Liberia. We help the less fortunate. We help single mothers. We help our disadvantaged youth that we refer to as SOGOs in the street. We also take care of the orphan in the orphanage home. We help them with some assorted items that will be able to enable them in order to maintain their status. So for the past 3 years, we have been help to Liberia. People, probably people who are listening, have benefited from this youth-based institution that is here in Liberia. And also, we have been doing what we can to muster the courage to help our young people that are down, and then also to make sure that our youth community have been given the proper attention. So we have been doing a lot of things over the past 3 years, and this year is our 3rd-year anniversary. We want to also do another thing this year, but we will discuss that shortly.
Okay, exactly. We have to discuss that shortly. We will have to go straight in our conversation now. You want to tell us at first, I'm told you're going to be having a program, and basically it's about appreciation. So that's appreciating a nationwide 12 graders appreciation program for the president. Before we get to that, first tell us the members of your group. Who are they made of? I mean, in terms of, are they all high school students or perhaps the college girls?
Okay, for our leadership structure, we have most of our leaders who are still in high school, and then some of our advisors and other leaders are out of high school. Like for our PRO, he is BSc degree student or Bachelor of Art degree student, and then he obtained that degree from the University of Liberia. We also have one of our program and planning director. He is a student at the Adventist University of West Africa. And also we have the Secretary General to me, the Executive Director, who is also out of high school, and then our advisors, who is a Bachelor of Art degree holder in theology and education. And also we have a lot of our people who are already master's degree holders, and then a BSc degree holder who is serving as advisors to us.
Okay, let's start our conversation now. Why is it we are thinking of appreciating the president at a time where both of the persons you just mentioned are out of high school? I mean, is this a consultation you have held with the students in high school, especially 12th graders? Or did the student reach out to your organization to tell you that we want you to appreciate the president of the office?
Before I speak on that, there is a saying that says, give the man his flower while he is alive. And then looking at the students in Painesville, there are other private and government institutions that is run in Painesville. There are students who wanting or deem it necessary that we appreciate the president. There are a lot of young people who have benefited from the president paying the white fee. From 2018 up to present, we asked the West Africa Examination Council to give us the statistic on how many students have benefited from that program for the president paying a fees from 2018 up to present, which of course we will give that breakdown on the program or that calculation on the program as to how many students have benefited from the president paying that wax fee from 2018, and how much it has cost his office or his own money.
You have a statistics of that.
Yes, it will be given.
The number of students that have benefited from this program.
Yes.
Very good, and you're going to provide it to us. But before we get to that, we want to understand, is this program, I'm seeing here on the flyer, a nationwide appreciation program, but you're making reference specifically to students from Painesville. So, I mean, who are those that are going to be attending the program, and what are the means you're going to use to bring students across? Because one of the things we want to talk about nationwide this WAS free WAS policy. You want to speak your students for bombing. You be considering students for brain out. You be considering high school students from across different fleeing political subdivisions that benefit. I mean, what are the plans you are putting in place so that this program will have a reflection on all of those students coming on board and saying, Mr. President, we think that this gesture you provided for us is helping us to reach a state.
Okay, for that, this program that is will be Friday, we will only deal with Painesville and Central Monrovia because we are not able to be honest, we are not able to collect all of the students from the 15th sub-political division of Liberia to assemble at the Painesville City Hall. Probably we might only have few representatives from these counties, maybe to represent the various schools. And then after this program, we have planned that we will decentralize this whole thing and then work along with the president in his office or the Ministry of State to see how best we can conduct this same program out of the county, let's say out of Maserati, to enable the other people who have benefited from this to appreciate the president or to have a conversation with the president. Mind you, this program, we will have the white boss who will be discussing with our 12 graders on how it will relate to this year national exam, the national and wax, and how it's going to be like, and also to encourage the students that they shouldn't be afraid to sit for the public test because they have already all what they are going to do, they have done it in the past. It is just a rehearsal or they're just going to test them from all what they have been doing in the past to allow them sit that public exam to be able to make a successful mark. So this year we show all of our government officials, we will show our key stakeholders of the country, PNCO, be it Central Monrovia, and all of our media institutions that this year PNCO will put up Division 1 in the West Africa.
I'm not a big glad of these students. The thing about it is that for every beneficiary, there will be a testimony. I mean, someone will want to tell you their life before. I mean, how the process was at the time. And now they initiated and benefited from how the process is. So if you have an appreciation program for the president for paying the wise fee, you must be able, I know there are testimonies from the students. They have the students might have told you that at the time this free wise policy was in place, this is how we used to go through. I mean, these are constraints our parents were faced with. I mean, have you had a conversation with some of these students and what exactly they are telling you?
Okay, on the program, we will have remarks from both the public and private school that have benefited from the president paying a wire fee. We will have them giving the testimony, and we will even have people who have benefited in the past to testify what exactly it was to them during that time. Okay, so we'll have these students making remarks. We will have the Minister of Education making remarks, the white boards making remarks, the federal DOs that will be present will make remarks, and other schools administrators will make remarks on the program that institution have benefited from this, and they will also appreciate the president from that, and federal institution thanking him for paying the wax fee and lessening the burdens of some parents who were not able to afford at the appropriate time.
Are you considering that we're drawing closer to elections? This might have some implications on your organization, on the students you're about to bring up. People might consider that we are in election period and you doing this. Perhaps you might be sponsored by politicians, you might be sponsored by different political actors to come on and help high school students, to tell the president as a message, as a way of selling. I mean, his really less message. Are you considering that?
Yes, there are other schools who were also saying the same thing, but I always told people, or I always interact with people that our institution or our organization is not a political organization. According to our article of incorporation, if I can give you a copy, you will see that we are not relating to any political stuff. Right? Our program is sponsored by ourselves. It is organized by ourselves. We are not getting a dime for any politician. we're not getting anything from any politician in terms of sponsoring our program, in terms of getting other things available on the program. And then we're not organizing this. Other people may think that we are organizing this to get money or to generate money from the president. No, we are not doing this. We are doing this because he has paid the price, and then we got to appreciate him because he did what no one could do in this country. So we want to appreciate him officially, and that will not be done by us. There are other students, there are other people who have benefited from it. So other people may think that it's
There are a lot of criticisms surrounding the free market policy. Why the students that the government has paid and continue to pay the last for 12 years? It is also an argument in the public that the pay of last policy of the white fee has no direct effect or benefit on the life of students. It's evidenced by the fact that you want to look at the learning environment, you want to look at the education system of Liberia. These are things that people, critics of the government tell you that it is important the government focus on how she can better the education system before coming to have paying for what fees. I mean, at any point in time, have you had a conversation around, you want to consider that as well, that there's a need to improve the education system before we can think about paying what fee for 12 years?
yes, as to why you say, I want to say thank you for that, for hitting on that point. On the program, we understand that the educational sector in Liberia is not really up to its standard. It is not really up to what we expect it to be. So on the program, we will make sure and we can assure our students, we can assure the public that we will make sure by the grace of God that President Weah and his administration will work to see how best our educational sector can be better. Take for example, Ghana is not better than Liberia, Sierra Leone is not better than Liberia, Nigeria is not better than Liberia. We can do more better than what they are doing. So, with all of the challenges that we face in the educational sector, on that program, we'll have a money section wherein our students will be raising key issues about what it relates to the educational sector. What are some challenges they are facing in our school? There are other schools around who need libraries, other schools around who need to be given the proper attention because the students have been complaining over the past. You cannot have a student getting an assignment to do and then somebody don't have Android phone, they don't have smartphone, or anything. They are struggling to do their assignment. So on the program, we will make sure to appeal to the national government and they deem it necessary to see how best our students can be given the proper care and proper attention in terms of our educational sector. Mind you, Liberia is right now driving to a point where we really need to understand and agree with each other because this agree will not solve the problem of Liberia. We are not a political institution, we are not a politician, or rather we are a youth activist. We make sure our young people have been given the proper attention and our young people voices will always be listened to because they are the future leaders.
One of the things that are coming up lately related to this wise policy issue, and it's one of the reasons why I had to invite you guys on this platform. You will consider that this is the last year of the president in his first term. If the cards goes well in his favor, he will be re-elected. And the possibility as well stands out that he might be removed from office. There is this conversation that why are you guys staying? Is it just appreciating the president and being done? Or are you more concerned about perhaps calling on the president to make this a law in this country that high school students cross, that even when he leaves office, I mean, the next government will take over, we see the need that we just continue on this paying mass fee for 12 years. Because, mind you, if this president leaves, the next government will come and say, hey, we don't subscribe to this, and we can't sort this out. There'll be no more payment of mass fee for high school students. And all of these things play out. Is an organization at any point in time considering on behalf according to the president to see the need to make this a law banning every government moving forward? We have to consider paying who asked you for drug dealers.
Yes, it is a very good point again that you have brought forth to this discussion or this platform. We will make sure, and after this program, we will make sure and start the campaign that this process should not be only limited to the Libya regime, but to other regime that will come, or other people that will take over after his term of serving in this country.
How are you going to do
We will make sure that this process will continue. Now, firstly, on the program, we will give our petition to the president. There will be students who will be asking the president on the same thing that he should make sure and pass the law for that after his administration, or even if he is still there, this process will continue. This is beyond politics. This is the betterment for our students. This will help our single mothers, our single parents who are striving to send their kids to school to be able to benefit from this. Now, there are other people saying that some private institutions are not benefiting from this process, but we'll make sure and get all the necessary information as it relates to the paying of varsity of 12 graders. How is the process looking? It is going to be only limited to government institution or only few private institutions. We will make sure to get all of this, and by the grace of God, we will sit right on the same platform. I can assure you this, that the president will accept the petition and he will work with the education minister, he will work with the White House, he will work with other international partners that are partnering with the educational sector in Liberia to make sure that this process continues and this shall be passed into law. After this regime, as it relates to the drug law, right? The drug law that will pass, there was scores of young people, and then this campaign was led by Ambassador Lawrence Deluga, who led this whole process, and President we were able to pass forth the drug law. And there were a few lawmakers and senators, representatives who didn't sign for this. But by the grace of God, when the communication was sent forth to the president's office, he made sure he signed the drug law, and it will pass forth, and today the drug law has been passed. So we'll make this campaign, and you too can join us in the process as we campaign for this, that our educational sector will no more be looked at upon, because few years from now, young people will be the ones taking over this country. If a man is not educated or a young boy is not educated, what do you expect him to do? He will be another burden on society. So let us make sure and change the system. Let us make sure and take politics out of this and push for the betterment of Liberia.
We're going to move on now before we get to the statistics. I'm interested in you providing the statistics as to the number of students that have benefited that you reference and the total money spent by the government so far since you were out there in 2017, I can record. Were you also a beneficiary of that initiative?
So probably maybe my colleague here will still have benefited from that. And also, by the grace of God, I will benefit from that this year. I'm hoping.
Okay, means you will be benefiting this year.
Yes, probably.
It says as well, exactly. Tell me, give a study about how you feel. I mean, understanding the challenges of food, the current economic condition. You know, parents are trying to have all kids to school at the same time. We have to pay your fees for maths. All of these things are burden placed on parents' head. You want to tell me how it is now? What sense of relief it has brought to you? You as an individual, particularly.
Well, this whole process of the president or the William regime paying a wax fee of 12 graders, I must admit that it was not by a mistake, or it was not a mistake that he take forth, and then to take all the initiative was not a mistake. President William have been a help to this country apart or despite of politics. Now, looking at the economic crisis, it is not easy everywhere. It is not only Liberia. The economic crisis is all around the world. People are saying that we are government is full of corruption, this government is full of corruption. In the world, we will face that always. We will face that always, despite of everything. President William is doing his best, okay? And then Johnson came, she did what she could do. then President William is trying his utmost best, saying that most of our roads, right, were not connected properly. Despite of the engineers who are taking the initiative of fixing these roads have been delayed some way, somehow, but at least they are trying their best. You look at the current issue. There were some people in this country who were on free current for the past 3 to 4 years, don't pay tax to government for LC bill. How do you expect for the country to retrogress? How do you expect the country to move up or to move on to another dimension or to move on to another point? These are all things that we Nigerians should look at. It's not because I'm not a citizen, I'm not a Unity Party man, I'm not an AFP man, so we should criticize.
Do you students feel somehow frustrated when you take to the newspaper, listen to the radio, follow the television, social media platform, and see your parents, those in opposition from government criticizing the development of the country? Are you confirming to us on this platform that those of you in high school, you feel dissatisfied at times?
To be honest, at times we feel disenchanted, our students' community. Mind you that there was a mass and protest that were about to be planned by the student community, but which of course, because of the wax process, our students, our other people are about to go for the national exam, so they will not be available so that we can march out and petition the president to take some key action, because you cannot be in government or you cannot have somebody in government who is maybe your spouse, maybe probably our parents who are our parents, for our father and mother who keep position in government, and then you see them at times they go and then about criticizing the government on things that they are not to do or on things that they are not to criticize on. Everybody not to 100%. Yes, let's agree the economic crisis or economic constraints is continue to climb up high in Liberia. But mind you, let us continue to muster the courage and keep focused. Because soon and very soon, let's take for instance, if President William is not there or it will not be re-elected this year, as to what some people are saying, I don't know about that, I don't know how factual it is, but as to what other people are saying, that President William have failed the Liberian people, they have done all sorts of things, they have go about bribing him and all things. So it is not about President William, it is about Liberia. What do you think we people or we young people can do, or even the others can do to make Liberia to go on the right trajectory or on the right path? What are some of the things that you think we can do? There are all international institutions that were here helping Liberia.
Let's move on and focus perhaps on the program, because from the way you speak, it tells that you, those of you in high school, have a sense of national politics and have been following trenches in this country and understand the way things are going about in the country. But let's focus on the program. We plan a program for Friday. I'm told our program will be held on Friday. In terms of the number, how many students are you expecting to bring together, especially that this is an appreciation program? How many high schools are you working with? In terms of the number, how many students are you expecting to bring the application as you appreciate the president for paying your wise?
For the total statistics, looking at the city capacity of town hall, we were to pass the number of 1,000 plus students, but now we are looking at approximately 1,100 students to sit in the city hall, because we have guests that will be on the program to grace the occasion. So we will have the approximately 1,100 plus students that will be at the Payne City Hall on Friday. And also we will make sure that if there is no sitting capacity, we will talk to the city government to see how best our other students that will come, our other guests that will come to grace that program can have a seat outside at the hall. And we are appealing to all of our people, all those who are listening to this program, from protocol, the protocol that was given to us by the president office, all those that attending the program should be there by 9 o'clock. Arrival time is 9 o'clock because, mind you, you don't control the president protocol. The moment the president arrives, if there is only 2 students that will be present, the program will kick off because we're not control the protocol of the
What are the
program.
measures you are putting in place to bring these students from their various schools? Because you understand, if you go by the protocol, it means as early as 6 o'clock up until 9, you have the students already in the hall. It calls for you to be time conscious and all of this is played out. So, what are the measures you are putting in place to bring these students together?
By the grace of God, we will have buses to pick up students from the various schools, junction, take them to the PNW City Hall. After the program, we will make sure that these students be carried home safely by the grace of God. And then we will also have little snacks that they will take in before leaving from the various campuses to attend the program. So we'll have buses available for our students to pick up them. And then that's why we ask for each listing of the students from the various schools to know how many students that they are bringing, because we don't want to do things that will embarrass us. So if SYT school is bringing 10 students, we should know and we should be prepared to send back these 10 students to and fro to create a program and take them back to the various campuses that they will have to leave and go home. So we'll make sure and we'll try in our way to provide buses to carry these students that will be on the program to that various campus.
Okay, all right. Before we take to the phone line to take a few calls on this development, you want to tell us what you students, especially the high school students, what do you hope to achieve after this appreciation program, after you have done all this, you've had the president, and perhaps it is a certificate, an honor you're going to be bestowing the president. What kind of appreciation are you going to be doing that day?
Okay, for that, for the appreciation point or for the certificate, the giving of the award to the president, we will have a certificate or well-prepared certificate that will be given to the president. I think if your media institution will be there or if your radio station will be there to carry the program live, you will see and bear us witness as to what award that will give the president, the student community, what award will give the president. And on the program, the president also decides by us for the immense contribution that he has made to the student community over the years and to our country over the years. For the past 5 years, the service he has offered to us, the young people, and the students at large, the student community at large, we will give him his award that will be well presented and well given by our institution and all the students that will be there on that day. And on the program, also after that, after we have appreciated the president, we will have some men of God and some dignitaries who will be there also to grace the program. We will have Honorable Adolf Ochoa from District Number 6. We will have the president of the African University of West Africa on the program. We will have the executive secretary of the Southwest African Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We will have the executive secretary of the West Africa Union Mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And also we will have the educational director of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Liberia. We will have the head pastor for Christ Embassy Liberia, Pastor Alfred Mason, who is the head pastor for Christ Embassy Liberia. And we will also have other key stakeholders and business individuals in and out of Monrovia. We will have people from Painesville, key stakeholders from Painesville, and then Central Monrovia, and other government officials will be there. We will have Mr. Dave Boto, who is the wild boss. We will have Professor T. Ansus Tony, who is the Minister of Education. And also we will have some key government officials who will be present, because the president is coming with his own delegate. We don't know who exactly he will bring. I guess that he will come along with his Minister of State. We will have the presidential aide, and all of these people will be there. The presidential envoy will be there also.
Indeed, you know what the president's protocol, but it's a very good one. Honestly, we get to the phone lines if we call it and 0770 907 907 088 907 907 are the numbers. A group of high school students have decided to appreciate President George. We are calling to them. according to them, the wise fee, the payment of wise fee has a trickle effect. It is benefiting them, and so the further need to appreciate the president on Friday. We brought in these two beautiful 0770 907 088 anonymous calls now. Perhaps you have questions, but you have concern. You ask them what are the reasons they decide to do so. You can do it. But there was one thing I left out to ask you quickly before we wrap up. Yeah, quickly. There was just one thing I left out before I ask you. With all of these, you have online. It's a very beautiful plant. You want to work with. It is a continuous thing you're going to do after you have completed your high school education. For 12 years that your organization, whether you're going to work with them so that this thing can continue and these kinds of appreciations are good, they are needed. It helps those are in power. I mean, it encourages them to do more. So more I'm concerned about whether this appreciation program will be a continuous thing from your organization, or perhaps you just tend to work with it now that you as well is benefiting from it.
Yeah, for that you are saying, we will continue the process. If we have the opportunity to leave high school, we will make sure that our students who are still in high school be given the same opportunity to speak to the national leaders, and they will raise on some issues that are affecting them. And there are some issues that are affecting our students in these various schools. And also on this program, we will make sure that some of these students, you know that we have some poor students in Liberia who will not even be afraid of the administration. They will be able to speak out their mind what exactly they are going through to their various campuses or to their various.
Are you confirming to what also on that day there will be students that provide accounts about the different challenges they are going through?
Yes, it will be done in the morning after the students have arrived in the hall. We will kick off at 9:45, 10 o'clock to have that talking section, wherein we will also have whiteboard making his remarks to the students and encouraging them to see how best they can go and feel satisfied to write this year public exam, because they have been afraid in the first time. Some of them is they are going for resettle, and some it is just their first time. So we also have the whiteboards talking to them to see how best they can muster the courage to go and sit the public desk and make Liberia proud and make their family proud and make the world proud at large.
But in terms of challenges, what are some of the challenges you have been able to listen to from these students, especially going around when you go to mobilize students from the different institutions and things? What are some of the things you hear from them that they tell you, I mean, factors that are affecting their day-to-day, I mean, activities, the strength of them, being effective and efficient in the classroom? I mean, are there challenges to point out to that serve as a hindrance to them?
Yes, from some of the schools, some of the students have told us that they have been facing some challenges, like in terms of the, and the learning environment is not conducive of up to the standard, that some of them are paying fees that they are not benefiting. There will be some of the issues that will be raised to the public attention. We are not going to take it hard with the administration, but rather to see how best we can rally around to make some of the problem, at least not 100%, but at least as an institution, to make sure that they have been given the opportunity and have been given the help by us to see how best that institution cannot be filled with some of the little challenges. There are some of the things they are very little, but some of our school some of our school administrators take it to be so hard. But some of the things are not very hard. You can meet with the federal district education officer, you meet with some of the stakeholders of WIAC, you meet with some of the stakeholders of education, better discuss this with them, and they will see reason in it to be a help to you. So we will have this talking section with our students, and they will better be able to explain to us what are some of the things that they are faced with, and we too will tell them how will these things be resolved or how will these things come to an end.
Okay, all right. It is important we have this conversation. Lastly, someone sent me the message here to ask you who is sponsoring you guys. The person is concerned that all of what you mentioned is a very difficult task. It requires finance to have all these things done. So, who is sponsoring you guys to do it? Or perhaps how you generate the resources to go about doing it. Perhaps that's one question I didn't ask you. You can tell the public what exactly where you get the resources from to do all of these things you have mentioned.
Okay, from our past in existing, let me see this. We have not done anything on our own, but by the grace of God, we have some of our people, some of our parents who are supporting us. We make sure that when there is time for program, we task each of our members. When there is time for program, we write non-government officials, people who did the necessary of helping young people. We write them, will help us. And there are so many people who have helped us in the past. There are so many people who have helped us in the past. Just this on February, we hosted a workshop, a leadership workshop for students, wherein we have close to 820 students at the Bishop Matthew School there in Painesville. In the auditorium, we have close to 800 plus students. And then on this program, we will offer a free scholarship slot of any number of students to go to school at the Richard Meninge House School there in Johnsonville, wherein the CEO was there. He gave us that opportunity, and we are also working in line with that to see how best some of our young brothers and sisters can go to school just free of charge once you are willing to learn to go to school and better learn and be a better person for tomorrow to help Liberia, not to be a burden. So we have other people who are helping us. Okay, we have people who are helping us. We have other people at times in the USA who help us. Okay, with some finances, help us when we are down, but we make sure that each of our members make it a duty. We are not involved with politicians. Let me make this clear. We're not involved with politicians. We make sure that we do these things on our own, and by the help of God, our parents come in at times. We have a lot of young people and energetic parents who are supporting us always in this process. So to the public, we are not involved in any politicians. We are not involved in any political party. We are not a conservative group, rather, but we are a youth advocate group. We speak on issues that are affecting our young people and how can we put this whole process to a stop.
Okay, before we take a further conversation, is there another thing we didn't ask you? Perhaps another information you want to provide to the public, the students especially, in relations to the program on Friday.
Okay, for this, I will sit and ask us whether my Secretary General can speak on that. I don't know
Yeah, you
whether
could just come in quickly. That's my part. Yes.
I'm Edwin Aldi Mangi from the Youth Congress Association as Secretary General on a program just coming up Friday. We are deciding to have a meeting, which will be Thursday, the all schools will assemble the doors. So, a sharp now, all students will assemble and we'll have a parade to the City Hall.
Basham, now you have a party to City Hall.
yes,
Yeah.
just around the perimeter of the peace we
Field
park,
Park.
we will parade around the ensemble and then go in for the program. So maybe probably we might do that before 9 o'clock or maybe sharp 9 o'clock, 9:30, just a 30 or 15 minute parade to go in the hall as a means of publicity that we are in there for a particular purpose.
Okay, lastly, another thing you want to mention, especially from you, before we wrap up.
Okay, I want to say a very big thank you for affording us.
Opportunity, and then this is beyond, and radio business. I want to say a very big thank you to you for giving me the opportunity as a big brother, as a friend, for giving us the opportunity to be able to make the case for the young people. And then I want to say this, that after our program, we hope and pray that we appear on the same platform to make again the case for our young people that the campaign that we speak about earlier on, that we will make sure that national government pass into law that they will continue to pay the wide fee of our 12th graders, and then even another administration that will come to take on the same process to continue to make sure that our 12th grader been given the proper attention. So once again, I want to say thank you. Let me say a very big thank you to all of our listeners, our sponsor for this program, and also we want to say thank you for forming part of this discussion. And those of you who are silent listening, I want to say thank you also. May God bless you, and we pray for a successful program. Keep praying with us, keeping us in mind, and keep being with us as we go about making Liberia better in the years to come.
Okay, from the Youth Congress Association, we extended a conversation to them, fellow Liberians who felt the need that we have a conversation, especially they're going to be having a program on Friday at the Pinsville City Hall to appreciate the president for the free wise policy. According to them, it has been very helpful. They continue to be helpful to them. And in that very ways, it has helped them very much, to a very great extent, that they have improved in their studies, and now they continue to score good marks. And so because of that, they want to appreciate the president for such a gesture. So the program is on Friday at the Pinsville City Hall. So I felt the need to bring them on board to tell me why, what are the reasons they thought to appreciate the president. This is Good Morning Liberia. Like we said, Telesale Liberia is our sponsor. We'll go for this break. To be right back.
Are you tired with slow internet? Do you want super fast and affordable internet? Telecel Liberia is here to provide all your internet service